Hello and welcome to Poetry in Style. It is now the 3rd of January 2024 and I believe it is not too late to wish you a happy new year. I believe that New Year celebration is about looking ahead and starting your new year in a good way, in a way that you want to influence the rest of the year. I want 2024 to be a creative year. So I'm going to start by making a video explaining why I write poetry. In the past, I realized that I often felt misunderstood and I often felt that I did not fully understand myself. So poetry was about trying to find a truth, find who I am. It's about expressing myself. It's about bringing light to myself, to the world outside. I wrote some words the other day in my diary here and I wanted to recite it to you, to say it. It's gonna sound a bit dramatic, but those are videos about poetry, so I believe it fits, you know. Art, poetry and writing in my case, is about finding the fire that is burning within you and scorching your bones and taming it. It's about looking deep within and let your spirit express itself. It is the language of the soul. So often in life, I felt that, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't understand things. I did not understand myself. And I did not always feel really happy. So poetry really helped me. Poetry helped me find a voice in this world. I realized that I had a talent with words and I could do something about it. And I started by feeling powerless about many things. And poetry made me feel more powerful. So that's what I'm saying. The fire burning within you and scorching your bones. I believe it's about taming it, as I said, finding your voice, using your weaknesses and making them strength. It is the language of the soul. What I mean by that is that at the end of the day, we all have to find our voices. Poetry is just the way I found my voice. I also wrote story. I also make videos. People make different sorts of art. It can be about painting, photography, whatever you want, you name it, But poetry created that for me. So when I use this expression, I'm going to use it again about finding the fire burning within you. It's about reclaiming it. I'm going to show you a poem that I found on the internet the other day. I believe the name of the poet is Erin Hanson. It was written E-H. I found the name, so I'm not sure. But I'm going to recite it to you and I'm going to explain what I think this poem expresses what I've just said. When did we change from throwing paper planes and driving wooden trains to this? And when did we grow from angels in the snow, lots of things we didn't know, to this? Can you put your finger on the day when we never again did play, or childhood wasted away, to this? And when did we get taller, our dreams get smaller, so now the only thing that's left in life is this? So, I found that interesting because I like this poem being very simple, I printed it the other day, like, as he said, or she said at the beginning, when did we change from throwing paper planes and driving wooden trains to this? The poet refers to simple times when the poet felt in control, felt enjoyed, that he or she was enjoying life. And then when did we grow from angels in the snow, lots of things we didn't know, to this and this at the end? And when did we get taller, our dreams get smaller, so now the only thing that's left in life is this, writing poetry. When we were kids, we felt like we could control a lot of things. We felt like the world belonged to us. We felt like when we saw toys somewhere in the garden, we created another universe. And when we grew older and older, we felt we had less control and less control. We felt like we could not dream anymore. and we started shrinking within our limitation, you know. And so I think this poem, you know, what I don't like about this poem is the way it's to this. It's like this, only this, writing poetry. I don't really agree with that. But what I found interesting is that at the end of the day, the poet here still wanted to find a way to keep control over his or her life, you know, instead of just saying, oh, well, I can't, no, I'm gonna still do something. And this poem acknowledges the fact that in the past, the poet had big dreams, the poet created universes. So that's what I was saying about reclaiming it. So for me, that's why I'm saying that poetry is the language of the soul, because this part of ourselves, dreaming, creating big worlds, is what we are as spiritual beings. That's what we are, you know, but we tend to forget it. And my last words I want to say is that sometimes if I talk about something very sad, if I talk about sadness, my poem will soothe the sadness, it will make it less, I will control it better. If I talk about great joy, it will make it even better. And that's the power of poetry. And I wish you to have a very good and creative year 2024.